Another.
You better.
Another Tim Bradley interview. He talked about Jaron Ennis being Terence Crawford's mandatory.
Yeah.
And then, he went on to say Crawford knocks him out. Who has he beaten?
Yeah.
The whole spill.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, if you look at history, right, this is what they do to the fighters who up and coming. It was said about Mike Tyson. It was said about Roy Jones. It was said about Floyd. It was said about Crawford. Who he beat. You gotta give. You don't have to give, but you gotta see these guys in the situation before we say what they can and can't do. To be honest, unless a guy's shown you time and time again that he don't have a jab, or time and time again that he can't punch, that's something different. But a guy like Boots, with the skill set and the ability, the power to say he can't beat him, it's tough to say. The reason it's tough to say is because the work ethic is similar. The work ethic is similar. Both of the guys is gym rats, and they both non-stop type of dudes. I mean, they gonna go all night. So I can't say. I wouldn't be so quick to say Crawford to knock out Boots. I don't really see him knocking him out. It would take him. I think if he was to beat Boots, it would have to be done with experience.
Yo, happy birthday!
It had to be done with experience. It had to be done. A lot of smarts, a lot of reflexes. I mean, it's a lot of work you got to put in to beat a guy like Boots. Not because he from Philly, not because we talking boxing. I'm taking all the bias shit out of it. Boots just come with a lot, bro. He come with a lot. It's like that's all right. Think about why Keith Thurman won't fight him. It's just so much you got to deal with. Think about why so many other guys wouldn't just up the fighting, jump up the fighting, because it's a lot you got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And I can't really see Crawford just getting him out and just treating him like, you know what I mean, like he did Spence. Spence was a whole different situation. It's a whole different fighter.
They're basing it off of, Boots not necessarily beating a name yet, or a guy that had a lot of notoriety, even though he had a lot of good fights. And they're looking at Crawford, who just knocked off Spence in the fashion that he did, him being pound for pound number one, and just completely writing it off instead of actually looking at the history of boxing, which we've seen situations like this before.
Think about it, right?
Archie Moore, I'm sorry, Cassius Clay stopping Sonny Liston.
Yeah.
And the only person he had beaten was an old Archie Moore, who was, a light heavyweight that was blown up.
Think about it, though, right? A lot of people say Floyd Mayweather didn't get his just due until he beat De La Hoya, right? Ricky Hatton was mean dude from the UK, putting in work, beat some good names. Floyd made him look foolish, stopped him. You know what I mean? But he still didn't get that credit until De La Hoya. Maybe Crawford is Boots De La Hoya. Never know. It's going to have to be a situation like that with Boots, because that's how it is. That's how it is when they come to a talented fighter. You know what I mean? When it comes to the reason we talking like this now about Crawford, because now all of a sudden we understand his road was hard. Well, we've been trying to tell y'all that the whole time. They've been giving this guy a hard time for a long time. Now Crawford is everybody's favorite fighter. No shot at Tim Bradley, because Tim Bradley been saying it for a long time. Like, yo, that's a bad motherfucker. He used to beat me up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I get it. But how will we know unless they fight? The only way we gonna know is if they fight. We gotta see Boots in there with a Crawford. If he fights Spence right now, they gonna say, Spence washed up or he done up already. If he fight Thurman can't take a body shot. It's fucked up, because Boots in a great spot, but he in a fucked up spot, because the fight that he want, the guy that he want, he's not gonna be able to really get him unless Crawford willing to stay at 47, which I don't think he's gonna do. You know what I mean? So it's just a tough one. So they're gonna treat Boots just like they did a lot of fighters. You know what I mean? Because it's just interesting to me though, because Lomachenko was the greatest his first fight. You know what I mean? He was the greatest. Like that, like it's crazy. So Boots putting on the shows he put on, You know what I mean? I just feel like he just got to keep doing what he's doing. Like, he can't really worry about too much of what people got to say because they're not going to give you your credit until you beat a guy like Crawford, but he might not ever get the Crawford fight, so who knows?